Be safe. God bless you, man. Alright, so we made it. Here we are. We're at the bottom of Central Park. We're gonna take a ride. We're here in New York City. I wanted to see what it looks like today. So we took a little drive from Long Island. We're gonna ride longboard from the bottom of Central Park down to Penn Station on 7th Avenue. Here we go. Approaching Times Square. We got the longboard and we're gonna ride through Times Square. It is a Friday, through traffic hour. There's pretty much no traffic, as you can expect during lockdown quarantine. Alright, so here we are. We made it to the center of Times Square, which is typically known for crowds and people, but look at it. It's a Friday and it is pretty empty. Right behind me is the TKTS booth. Usually packed. The stairs are usually packed with people taking pictures and hanging out. And this is the middle of Times Square right now. There's nobody in Times Square for the most part. There's people passing through. Right here behind us are these little benches that people like to sit on and walk on. Shane and Maui like to walk on these things. These are closed off. Behind me is the Swarovski Ball. Look, it's got 2020 on it still. You can see it here. We're here in the middle of Times Square during quarantine on the 22nd of May. It is a Friday today. We're going to celebrate Memorial Day weekend this weekend on Monday, so we remember those that gave their lives in defense of our country. And we're so grateful we're here in New York City today, looking at an empty Times Square. The very first spot, well, the biggest attraction, of course, the first spot that our family came to as soon as we moved here in October 2018. And I can't remember, I think it was the middle of the week maybe, but it was still just packed. So to see this place empty like this is really haunting, to be honest with you. But there's some people doing what they gotta do. The police are out. There's a couple camera crews. But people are just walking to and from where they gotta go. I think this is a once in a lifetime experience to be here in the middle of New York City. The only other time I remember it being like this since we've been here is on New Year's Eve, when they shut down all the roads. So at that time it's blocked out because you can only get to Times Square from certain streets. But other than that, I've never seen it like this. So this is pretty amazing. So I'm riding down 7th Avenue. I'm going towards Penn Station from Times Square. I got my wife's longboard, a Roxy longboard. I got a shortboard at home, but this is definitely gonna roll better on the street. It's been pretty good so far. Not too much traffic, not too many people. Here we go, continuing down 7th Avenue towards 34th Street, which is Penn Station and Madison Square Garden. Central Park on 7th Avenue down to Madison Square Garden. But if you're watching if you're like me, I'm on episode 7 of The Last Dance with the story of Michael Jordan. But there's a lot of history here. And we've only been here for 2 years. but Madison Square Garden is where so many of the greatest concerts and a lot of games, especially the Bulls and Knicks, took place. So it's pretty amazing to be here. Again, nobody's out, but we made it to Madison Square Garden, MSG. Here we're at the foot of Empire State Building right behind me. I'm going to 6th Street so I can head back up to Central Park. Empty, Friday, empty streets. Here we are in front of Macys, the largest Macys in the world, on 34th Street. Macys right behind me. This is closed, it's not an essential business, so all the retail stores are closed. Restaurants are open, some halal carts, hot dog stands are open. But this is Macys behind me on 34th Street here in New York City. Closed. Still rocking the Roxy longboard. Told you it's my wife's. That's all we got. I got something in my eye. Feel safer walking on the street than I do next to people on the sidewalk. All right, here we are at Bryant Park, also another place that's usually bustling with people. This is on 41st and 6th across Whole Foods behind me. Oh, look, it is empty, but it's open. That's good. It's open. It's still early too. That's the other thing. It's early on a Friday, but still you expect to see a lot more people. But this is Bryant Park, 41st and 6th. Got a food cart open behind us. Got a street performer. Still got to make money. So some things still going on here. It's just a lot less people. But we're on 6th going to Radio City Music Hall. We're on 6th Avenue. I'm just walking now. All right, here we are. We made it across Radio City Music Hall. Most famous for the Rockettes. A lot of history here. This has been here for many years, and most recently America's Got Talent and other big shows will shoot here. Radio City was built in the 1930s. It's an Art Deco style, which my wife and I love, that Art Deco style. Another example of that in Seattle would be the Kalakala, which has since gone, but that was an Art Deco style. But just the styling of 1920s and 30s was amazing to us. Here we go. Made it to Central Park. I'm gonna go for a little ride and enjoy this beautiful day. See how many people are out today. All right, guys. Here we are in Central Park, one of the most iconic places in New York City. So amazing to be here. Central Park. It was first created in 1857. This park has been here for so long and has become an icon and a historical place associated with New York City. It's like 850 something acres. I mean, this place is gigantic. So we're at the bottom near 51st Street, but we're just walking around Central Park today. There's also another spot, a lot less people than you normally see on a Friday or any sunny morning for that matter. But I just wanted to take you here. Again, this is Central Park. All right, here we go. We found a nice quiet rock here in Central Park. Kind of bright actually. We're in this because in New York there's a lot more people, and New York was the epicenter. So we haven't been here since the mid part of February. And even back then, as soon as we first heard the coronavirus, I knew that it was going to be a hotspot because There's a large Chinese community here, a lot of flights going in and out from, as President would say, China. And then also, it's just the density of this area. The population is over 8 million people in New York City alone, and the same in Long Island. We're about over 8 million people. And the fact that people from Long Island commute to and from New York City and back and forth, so there's a lot of movement in a place that you know has so many people. So I knew that from the beginning, and sure enough, it became one of the epicenters. So we've been very careful just to stay home and not come to New York City if we didn't have any business here. But now I feel like it's a little bit safer, and especially now I knew it was going to be pretty empty. So I just wanted to show you, and I thank you for watching. You 25 people that watch are the reason why I do this. Couldn't let you down. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. That's why I wanted to come here. I left the family at home, so they're looking forward to seeing the footage of today. And I showed them some pictures, and they're pretty amazed because, you know, New York City is associated with so many people, just a dense area of people, and that's changed right now. So we got some Janet Jackson playing in the background. I don't know, they're testing out the speakers at the ice skating rink, which is melted right now. But here we are in the middle of New York City, in Central Park, one of the most beautiful places in New York City. I'm so happy to be here. I wish my family was here. We'll come back one day soon. Hi honey, Shane on Maui. I'm here in Central Park. Miss you guys. I'm on my way home now. Can't wait to come back out here with you. It's a beautiful day. Do your homework now. Your schoolwork. Alright, so here we are. We made a stop in the middle of Central Park. Found a nice little quiet area. It's been a good ride today. I hope you enjoyed me showing you the different streets and some famous landmarks here in New York City. It's definitely empty. It's a Friday, it's empty. But this mask, I definitely brought it along with me because walking on the streets is very concerning. New York was literally the epicenter of the entire nation as far as the coronavirus or whatever it is. We've done a pretty good job keeping our family safe as far as not catching anything. But what makes it real is I know 3 people personally that caught the virus, and it's nothing to joke about at all. A friend of mine's wife, she still can't breathe correctly, and she can't walk very far. So the thought of catching something like that or bringing it home to my family is really scary, to be honest with you. Been doing pretty good. Otherwise, I thought it was safe enough to come out here today. But I hope you enjoyed watching the video of Times Square. We saw Radio City Music Hall. We saw Macys. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate your support. We appreciate your support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. But this has been The Spencer Adventure in the middle of New York City during quarantine, the 22nd of May. Have a great weekend, guys. Once again, don't forget to thank a veteran or a family member of someone that has served and has lost their life or given their life in defense of this nation, this great nation that we call United States of America. The Spencer Adventure, out.